wins now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
This one measures out at 135 yards. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Par 5 11th, and Frank, just a few bunkers here on this hole.
A few. I've lost count of how many bunkers there are on 11. Ideally, you want to hit it down the left side, and this really where you take the head cover off, a good long one, because 645, doesn't matter whichever way you cut it, it's going to be a few good hits, plus some more.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. And from the fairway for his second shot here. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Not a gimme, but well within. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now.
Back to the action here at the 12th. It is a par 3, and Frank, a little bit of a breather, at least in terms of yardage.
Well, that's about it, because this green is one of the most undulating on the golf course. I doubt there's a flat spot on this green. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Well, this is a player's nightmare, still in the bunker.
Yeah, he's starting to fill up his shoes with sand.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Thirteenth hole now, and by the looks of this one, Frank, if you were right off the tee, things could go horribly wrong.
Massive drop-offs and bunkers to the right. Doubtfully you'd ever get a good lie if you missed this fairway on the right. So, flip side, keep the ball down the left. They've had some meat behind it.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. Not terrible, but not his best.
No chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. So with 5 holes left to play here at the PGA Championship, we arrive at this dogleg left, par 4.
Well, it's called Widow's Watch, but really it's a thinking man's hole. A long iron, maybe even a fairway wood just down the right side. That should set up a relatively simple short iron.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Nothing wrong with that par putt. The 15th now, and a 503-yard par 4 here at Whistling Straits.
Well, it's certainly beautiful to look at, but tough to play. Bunkered once again left and right, but it's a hole that you have to hit a driver down here, just purely because of the length of the hole. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Playing in the winds can really be demoralizing. You might hit a shot perfectly and airmail it by 20 yards.
Yeah, well, just because the first part of the round hasn't gone your way, you should still have a feel of the conditions by now.
This can be a cruel game at times. He'd settle for par here. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Right in the heart. Now the run to the finish beginning here at the 16th, Frank.
And there's certainly a chance for 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, you name it down here. But it's all going to start with one thing, and that's a good drive. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Will it last? A birdie. Frank, the 17th hole. I don't like the sound of it. It's called pinched nerve. And I'm not sure I like the look of it. 249 yards and all sorts of trouble to the left.
Well, trouble to the left, there is some 20 feet below the level of the green, so that's a no-go zone. And then, of course, on the right, there's a huge mound, a sand dune there with a bunker in it. That sort of makes you hit that tee shot a little further left. But believe me, there is a little bit of green in between both.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. The final hole, the 18th, and the clubhouse in the distance. Frank, it's looking like home sweet home, isn't it?
Well, if you can hit the fairway here, that's one thing, but it still leaves an enormously long second shot. There's always advantage of hitting it further than straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up ahead.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Been a rocky round. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Beautiful looking shot right here. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. And getting ready for the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters or perhaps the wind behind your back is the reason to take that bunker on.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Safely aboard. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. -1 in the early going. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the third. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. And this attempt will be from about 130 yards. Birdie try up next. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Solid par to remain 1 under. Back over now to the 4th. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Right, the approach shot is on the green, but he'll have a very testy putt coming up. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Frank, you've navigated so many leaderboards in your career. This is the way to do it, isn't it?
Oh, there's plenty of holes ahead too, Rich. Third place, a really good position to be playing from here on in.
Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Always great to be in Troon, Scotland at the Royal Troon Golf Club, founded in 1878. Frank, it is a golf course, true links. It's bathed in history. Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
All right, Frank, how about the 6th hole, long par 5?
Yeah, 3 bunkers off the tee. Avoid those. But if you hit a good one, certainly reachable.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Second shot here at this par 5. What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. Settles in over the putt. Well, that may have gotten the leader's attention. Into the top 10 with an eagle.
They had to have heard that roar.
Frank, we're moving inland now to the 7th hole. It's a 405-yard par 4. What's ahead?
Little dogleg to the right. A couple of bunkers right on the corner of it. So once again, check the breeze and somehow find that fairway.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
To generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie.
That birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. Back to the action here as we get ready to tee off at the par 3 8th.
Yeah, 5 bunkers surround this green that's perched up. The 2 really to avoid are on the right side. They're incredibly deep pot bunkers.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just 1 bunker down the left to be avoided. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th. Frank, I'm thinking back to 1989 in the Open Championship. That was sort of our first chance to see the new playoff format at the Open.
That's right, Rich. In 1985, they decided to have a 4-hole playoff, and that had been changed too. In 1964, they went from a 36-hole playoff to an 18-hole playoff. And the reason why? My fellow countryman, Bob Charles, won in a 36-hole playoff in 1963. They realized 36 was too much. I think 4 holes right now is just perfect.
Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Not a gimme.
Great start.
Frank, they call this second hole Black Rock. They also call it the most heavily bunkered hole on the entire course. What do you have to do to stay away from them?
Well, it plays in the same direction as the first hole. So the prevailing breeze normally off the right. Some bunkers in play either side. Really just let the ball go to ground, let it run out. There's 11 bunkers in total on the second hole.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Now this, the previous round. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Always take that. Good par putt right there. Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. 8-foot putt here. Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
It's a dogleg right, par 5, the fourth hole. Can you cut the corner here, Frank?
Well, you don't have to. There is a bunker down the right side that's going to take at least 280 yards to get past that. You can also cut it around there and sort of follow the shape of the hole.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot.
That's an absolute beauty.
He's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, that approach shot is well to the left, but still, he's on the putting surface. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. That was not a very good read right there. Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Good, clean contact, and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. 18 feet from the bottom of the cup.
Oh, another one goes in.
Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there and right down Peachtree. Second shot, good look at the green. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. It's a pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up. Normally you'd be happy to take 2 from there. What's one going to feel like? Great putt.
The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. That was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Second from an excellent lie. Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Big swing right there. A great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Putting on a show, this tournament leads to 15 under par. '17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Made it this time. It's for birdie. Just misses.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Good effort and a good par putt. Great finishing hole here, Frank, at Royal Troon, the 18th.
Really, it's all about the tee shot. If you find one of those pot bunkers, then the best you can do is lay up, and then you're looking instantly at least a 5. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, this is a hole number off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity to win the Charity Invitational. Beautiful touch. Nice putt. That has to feel so good. A big championship victory. Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We are at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways. This golf course always requires the utmost precision.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Out to the 6th hole now where the action is underway. Let's check in on our featured golfer. With a key stretch of holes ahead, our featured golfer really has struggled in the early going, Frank.
Yeah, a few mistakes out there, unforced errors you might want to say. So really attention to detail should be the concern right now.
With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. He'll need to be strong with this.
Well, it's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Settles in over the putt. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. So, 2 over par for the round. Par 4 7th, 434 yards.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Second shot here at the par 4 7th. This one's looking good. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
You'd like that one again?
Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. That's a painful miss right there. Trying to get out of here with just one dropped shot. This is for bogey. Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. Frank, the par 3 8th, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron. That's right, a 3-iron on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sandwich. Amazing. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th.
It went from bad to worse, and right now, horrible.
What do they say, Frank? Golf spelled backwards is
Flog.
flog.
Oh, I like that.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long, straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. He has this attempt for par. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Getting set now over the putt. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Well, that'll do it for day number 1, and a tough start for some of those who were hoping for better things.
Yeah, slow start, surprisingly, really, and hard to put your finger on why, because we saw a lot of good golf, but now, outside looking in, we'll need to play well tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. That was just a beautiful drive. You hit it solid and right in the middle. Frank, what's the player looking at here with the approach shot at the par 4 7th?
The second part of the second shot just goes a little bit downhill, and once again you see that little ski slope look just short of that green. It means you really have to pitch the ball on the front third of the green. Anything further than that, you risk the ball running left into those bunkers.
Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Might be. Could be. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Rounding out the front nine here at Oakmont, Frank, it looks to be straight away, uphill. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, there certainly is. Years gone by, this was a par 5 for the US Opens of yesteryear. Par 5 still for the members. And the reason why is it's a little bit uphill, semi-blind tee shot, bunkers left and right, and of course rough if you miss those. This is one of those holes, even though it's a par 4 now, you miss the fairway here, you are not reaching this green in 2.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
And he's made it onto the green now. Locked in on the read and the speed. Starting the back nine on a sour note here with a drop shot. Bogey at the 10th. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Oh, my gosh, that hurts. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Well, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont, par 4, 379 yards.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part. This is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Well, maybe next time. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So just a formality here. Boy, those will knock the wind out of your sails. Double bogey. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks. Move forward. Better days ahead.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just trying to aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
It is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. I mean, the first rule when you're in a bunker, I mean, forever and a day, get it out.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. And getting ready for the putt. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. Heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Straight here. In the direction of the sand.
And looks like it. And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
This putt for par. Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs. And the designer's really thrown the boat out. Excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally, you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole. But of course, everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? You hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
You know, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Ready to tee off now, par 4, 10th hole. This is a beast at 592 yards, and oh, by the way, it's a par 4, so saddle up. Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And he's made the green. Clean this up with a tap. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. That's in the fairway. Still from 141 yards out, it's a green light special. Strong wind here early in the round.
Well, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close, that's good. That is a solid par putt. Now at the 5th hole, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
Well, it's very easy to get lulled into a false sense of security here, Rich. No fairway bunkers, you sort of think you would blaze away. But really, you've got to find the fairway here. Very small green and well protected by that bunker short and right of this green. So if you miss the fairway, this hole becomes very difficult indeed quite quickly.
Well, this is a humbling game, isn't it, Frank?
Well, shots like that, not to be proud of. Rich, too much grass between ball and club face.
Paid a price with the tee ball landing in the rough. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully. And you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side. It's no snack, though.
Continues to putt beautifully. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. Wow, way to the right here.
And there's rough over there. Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Settles in over the putt. Takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. If you look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
Tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
That's well played, places it about 10 feet out for birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That finds the bottom of the cup. We'll call that a birdie. Third round coverage comes your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo and our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's third round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. Frank, this game has taken us all over the world to some absolutely beautiful spots, and this is one of the prettiest I've seen in a long time, the cliffs at Lighthouse Point along the eastern coast of Maine.
Yeah, it's always fun when we head up in the northeast area. Golf's been in this area for a long, long time. This golf course hasn't. Rather than new design by Brant Patel, and it's lengthy, 7,700 yards. You'll get to hit just about every club in the bag. So good test today.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a formality now.
Well, at last, a birdie. The round continues at Lighthouse Point, and Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards. You don't want to make a habit of it in the bunker again off the tee. Yeah, about 150 yards left here, Frank. Like to say it's a day at the beach, Frank, but not here, in the bunker.
Today's not the day to be building sandcastles. I mean, way too much time.
Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable. From that distance.
Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through. And with that par, suddenly inside the top 20. th hole is another par 5, 613 yards. Frank, how do you play it?
Well, only the longest hitters can get here in two. It's two big hits, that's for sure. S-shaped fairway. So if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you can still plot your way down there for a nice little pitch, and really great opportunity to get one back off the scorecard.
Well, we've seen this before today in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
And second shot. On the green, but still a tough putt coming up. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. Frank, it's been quite a journey to this point, but here we are, the 18th hole at Lighthouse Point.
It looks like a dogleg left, or it should play like a dogleg left. You might stand on that tee and think that you can take the direct line.
You can't get there from here, can you?
Good old Maine terminology there. So the goal really is to somehow find that fairway down the right. And, of course, it all depends on how far you fly that tee shot on the line you take. From there on in, just a short iron and maybe a chance to get another birdie and finish with a smile on your face. There's out of bounds over there.
He needs to get lucky. What was he thinking there? Frank, this is where a round can get away. You've just knocked it OB.
Yeah, that shot's never going to come back now. So he doesn't want to compile the error.
Getting set now for his fourth shot. Took the penalty after hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, this can get away from him here.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could pound very, very quickly. So now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Time to move on to the next hole. Final round coverage comes your way tomorrow for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying thanks for being with us on EA Sports, and so long for now.